Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a full face first impression, so we're just gonna play with a bunch of new makeup. I really wanna focus on the brand new palette from Nars. This just dropped the other day. A lot of you seemed excited about it. I got it in PR, so I immediately did a reel showing close-ups of this. This is the Orgasm on the Beach palette, so they're all shimmers, and there's some really beautiful tones in here. So I definitely wanna demo that, play around with it. I also have the Givenchy. This is the Prism Libre Skin Caring Glow Foundation. So we're probably gonna do more of a glowy look today, but I really wanna try this out. I picked up the Fenty Beauty. This is the Bright Fixed Eye Brightener. Bright Fix Eye Brightener. I'm curious because I've tried this a couple times. The shade's a little light for me, so I've been using it more as a corrector just because the color I got, I don't think that I got the right shade, but I do want to demo it and play around with it, as well as the Lawless One and Done Mascara. This is brand new. I have not played with this yet, so I thought we would see how this applies, see if it makes my lashes long. Also, some new products from Juvia's place. The Bronzed collection. So this is the bronzer palette in medium. So in here you get more of a contour and then a warmer bronze. So I haven't tried really any face products or really any products from Juvia's place in quite a while, but they did send me PR. And then I also have the Bronze Rustic eyeshadow palette, which I thought was really beautiful tones. I haven't played with the Juvia's place eyeshadows in a minute. Also from Juvia's place in that same collection, I have a lip liner, which I have yet to try from them. They only sent one in this collection. It's a deep brown, but I'm hoping we can make it work. And then they did send these liquid lipsticks, which depending on how our look turns out, I might use one of these, as well as these glosses. So I don't know if I'll mix it or just use one or the other. But also from Lorac, I have a Dewy Canvas Prep Moisturizer and Primer. They sent this along with their powders, which I'm really enjoying, and I did demo the powders if you missed that in my last video. So I thought we would see how this plays under makeup, if it gives me a really dewy look. I also have the Vive Skin Dew Glow Multitasker. So I bought this myself from Cult Beauty, and this is essentially just like a dewy highlighting agent. So I thought that maybe I would apply this before my foundation. We'll see, because I feel like I have a lot of glowy products. I really want to focus in on that Nars palette. And finally, to apply everything, I have the set from Morphe and Ariel. So Makeup by Ariel, I think that is. He is a makeup artist. I believe he does the Kardashians and maybe, I don't know, more celebrities. He does really beautiful work. And he has a brush set with Morphe. Now these are really different for Morphe. I have to say, when I opened these, I actually was like, wow, they feel higher quality. They are higher priced though. So I want to see if they're worth the hype. And then there's also a sponge in here as well. I also quickly wanted to say that I recently have been posting on TikTok and also IG Reels. So I really was feeling uninspired with unboxing. I just felt like it was going through the motions. I was trying to unbox stuff on my stories. I felt like stories went away in 24 hours if you missed it. And I was really just feeling uninspired. So I started doing Reels and TikToks where I am unboxing new PR and swatching it. So I'm not reviewing it, which I might start doing mini reviews if you guys want that. It's just reignited my love for unboxings. I'm definitely gonna still do reviews and everything here on YouTube, but I would really love it if you would follow my TikTok, which I will put it up on the screen. And if you want to see anything from me on TikTok, let me know. I'm definitely a little bit older, so I'm not really into like the lip syncing and the dancing, but I do want to have some fun and branch out and just do some different things. So definitely want to do some unboxings and swatches. So if you're interested in seeing like new PR, I'm going to be posting those on TikTok. So it's just a way for you to see maybe a preview of what's coming on my channel. So I will link my TikTok and my Instagram down below. I would love if you would give me a follow on both of those and just check out some new makeup that I receive in PR or maybe little hauls that I picked up. I also really want to know, what do you guys want to see on this channel? I feel like I've been focusing on me, and if you missed my vlog, I can link it down below, but I've been starting therapy and just focusing on me. I had a lot of appointments with different doctors, and I feel like I've just fallen off a little bit, and I actually miss you guys. It's so weird. Like sometimes I feel so connected, and then other times I feel like I've pulled away to focus on me, and then I'm literally missing you guys. Like I miss talking about the new releases and reviewing makeup and giving you recommendations or just chatting about life. So I'm just excited to get back into it, and all these new makeup products I'm actually really excited to try. And I apologize if I've been a little bit distant maybe. I feel like I've been distant and I want to just put more effort in and get back into creating. I usually don't do a long intro, so I know you guys are like, girl, get to the point. So if you want to skip this intro, I'll leave a timestamp down below. But if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe. Please let me know in the comments down below, what do you guys want to see? What are your favorite videos from me? I really would love the feedback, and let's go ahead and finally, so I can shut the hell up, get into this trying new makeup. I've got you guys zoomed in, and we are going to use the Juvia's Placed Bronzed Rustic palette. I'm going to start on my eyes. I've just been doing that more recently, unless I don't do anything, you know, eyeshadow wise. This is a really beautiful color story. So it looks like you have more of a kind of gold pink shift duochrome bronze color, and then you have kind of a original bronzy copper, and then in here you have that yellow, which you know I love, a neutral, a deeper brown, and then that red if you really want to make your eyes pop. So I'm excited to play around with this. I also want to touch on the Morphe brushes. So I actually have the card here with the PR box so I can tell you exactly about this collection. So if you're not familiar, this is makeup by Ariel. And again, he's like a celebrity makeup artist. He does beautiful work. So you have the signature eye set, 8-piece eye brush set, and this is going to be $48 USD. So you're going to get all of these in here. Now I will say $48 for 8 brushes from Morphe is a little bit high, but I have to say, just upon unboxing them and feeling them, they do feel higher quality just in terms of the bristles. And I don't know, again, if these are synthetic or if they are natural. That's something I couldn't really find, so I'm gonna have to ask, see if I can figure that out. And then you can also get the Sculpt and Perfect Your Look, which is the signature set, 12-piece face and eye set, and this is $98. So it's $100 and you get all of these. So, and I think you get a sponge too. Yeah, you get a sponge too. So I will say definitely higher pricing, 100%. That's why I want to see if I would recommend them. I do love Morphe brushes. I have Morphe brushes that are still hanging on from 6 years ago, but I also really love high-end brushes like Sonia G, and I also love Real Techniques. So there's literally brushes for any budget, but I really want to see how these perform and if I feel like they're standout brushes and I feel that they're worth the price. Between the sets they sent me, I have an array of brushes to use. I really like the shapes of these as well. You really have kind of everything you need. You have a really pointy pencil brush. You also have the slanted brush if you want to do a winged liner or your brows. More, you know, targeted blending, but also the big fluffy brushes, a smudger brush. So I really feel like this is a nice curated set, but are they going to perform and really, you know, blow me away for that price? I literally was about to say, are they going to blow me? Let's disregard that. So I'm going to start out actually with the A11, and I have to say the brushes have a really like nude kind of stone, I wouldn't say nude, a stone color matte handle. I was going to say casing. I can't spit it out today. On the bottom, I don't know if you can see, it has a slanted tip, and that's where the actual name of the brush is. So to show you closer up with a bigger brush, you can see you've got the slanted tip, and then it has the number of the brush. So I'm gonna start out with the A11, which I feel like is just a staple fluffy brush, and I'm gonna jump into the Juvia's Place palette right into this shade. I have not used a Juvia's Place shadow in so long, and I remember really, really loving this brand. I'm gonna keep this pretty low. Okay, so this brush, immediately I can feel it's very soft, like almost, oh my God, it's really soft. Let me zoom you in. Almost a little bit softer than I'm used to, because I feel like with my Smith brushes, let's say the ones I use a lot on my eyes, those are goat. I believe they're goat, or they're natural. So they're sort of, sometimes they can be a little scratchy. This one is like, if you can see, just bending back and forth. It's very soft. I'm not sure how to describe it. All right, so that blended nicely. I'm just sort of putting it all over the lid. But yeah, I would say this brush is a little soft for me. It's a little like floppy. I don't dislike it, but I'm just not used to something with this much give. But it's blending nicely. It feels super soft. I have a blemish like literally right there. Do you ever get blemishes in areas that you're like, Well, that's new. And it hurt for like a few days. It's one of those that was really sore. It's kind of scabbing over now. So I'm next going to grab the A25. This one's just basically a smaller, fluffy brush. And I'm gonna go into that mustard color. I just can't help myself. This is one of my favorite tones. And I'm gonna keep this lower. See if I can warm this up a little bit. I'm also going to bring it down here. So now I'm grabbing the A20. It's sort of like a flat blender. And I'm gonna go into the deepest shade here. And I am going to put it on the outer corner of the eye. And then you can take your first brush to blend any edges. So now I definitely want to go in with one of these shimmers. I'm going to go into the true sort of copper one. I'm not so much into the pink gold shift. I just feel like we've seen that quite a lot. I'm going to use the brush, which is the A24, and I'm actually going to wet it. I'm going to start applying it. Yeah, Juvia's Place has some really beautiful shimmers. They have like a creaminess to them, which is really nice. All right, I know we're looking crazy, but it will come together once we put lashes on. So I'm gonna go in now with the Lawless One and Done Mascara. I love this packaging. It doesn't feel heavy or anything, but it doesn't feel cheap. And I haven't tried this at all. So it has one of those applicators that has the really, really short bristles, like the plastic applicators. There we go, you can see. So I have curled my lashes. Okay, it's giving some nice volume at the root. I would say it's a thicker formula. It's definitely wet, like not a dry formula. It's not thin, like it's sliding all around. And then there is this little sort of spiky ball on the end, which I think is to get like right in here and kind of separate. I do feel like I'm having a little bit of clumping. Like I like my lashes to fan out a little bit more, but I don't dislike it. It didn't get all over, it wasn't messy. So I went ahead and threw some half lashes on. I don't know the name of them because I do reuse my lashes. And I have a little hack side note for you guys. I actually store my lashes that I've used in a pill, like a pill organizer. It just works for me because I can see which lash it is, and I have 2 of these full of lashes that I've worn before but I want to wear again. If you are like, I can't organize my lashes because otherwise they're literally stuck all over my house, this has worked for me, but I do have 2 of them because my one was full. So unfortunately I don't know what style these are, but I just threw on some half lashes and I want to start on the face. So let's go in with the Lorac Pro Dewy Canvas Prep Moisturizer and Primer. This is new, this is heavy weighted, and it's basically just supposed to be a dewy primer. I did use a moisturizer, you know, like an hour ago, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply this. It's a very thin texture, and I think it's actually unscented, which is nice. Yeah, it's unscented, so if you have really sensitive skin, feels quite hydrating, maybe a little bit too much for my T-zone. So it definitely did give me some hydration. It just might be one that I would use more so on the perimeters of my face, but we'll have to see. I want to use this Vive product, the Skin Dew Glow Multitasker. This is what it looks like. Very pretty, and it smells incredible. I don't know what that smell is. Almost like cupcakes or a beach or something. So I'm just going to apply this to the high points of my face. This is very moisturizing as well. Like, it's tacky. It's not like the Rare Beauty primer, the illuminating one that dries down. This keeps a dew. So I would definitely just apply this on my forehead and tops of my cheekbones. I'm going to take a little bit center of my nose. It'd probably be something that I would like mix in with a primer, or we can even try applying it over powder. That makes me a little nervous, but I do feel like I'm glowy. I am gonna go in with my Tarte primer just in my pore area to give this foundation the best shot. Next, I wanna go in with the Givenchy Prism Libre Skin Caring Glow. I wanna read a little bit about this. It says, a skin-loving foundation that delivers light, buildable coverage with skincare benefits. It's a radiant finish, light coverage. That makes me a little nervous. Hopefully I can get enough coverage. If not, maybe I'll like bump it up with something else just because I feel like we have a lot going on the eyes. I have the shade here 3W245 and I'm going to use the Morphe Ariel A24, which is basically just like a round foundation brush. Okay, so it's light coverage, but beyond that, it's too light for my fresh tan. So I actually think it's a pretty finish. Of course, I just blended it quickly, but the shade's a little bit light and the coverage is light. So I'm gonna mix in my Nars in Stromboli only because I do want to film a little bit more after this and take some photos. So I'm just mixing them. I know this is not ideal, but I'll try that Givenchy alone on a day when I don't have like a fresh tan on. So this brush, I don't know, again, I like it, but again, I'm seeing a little bit of, well, maybe not. I thought I was seeing some streaking. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit up here. So the brush, I like it, but it is a little bit flimsy for me. Again, it's just sort of a strange, like I feel like it works better if you tap like this rather than buffing. There's also a sponge, and I have to say, this might be the softest sponge I've ever felt, and it's one of those that when you push down, it almost like takes a minute to get back to where it originally sits, like as soft as the Flower Beauty purple sponge, if anybody remembers that. I wanna go in next with the Fenty Beauty Bright Fix Eye Brightener. This I'm a little bit confused on because I've seen people use it as concealer, but also as a brightener or a corrector, so I'm gonna look it up. So this is an under eye brightener that hydrates, brightens, and conceals with sheer to buildable coverage, and it says, apply a small amount, tap to blend, buildable, and layer with your skincare, can also be layered with concealer. I picked up the shade Golden Ivory 02, which I feel like was the wrong choice. I should have gone for more of like a peachy shade. It has this little applicator here. I've noticed that almost a little bit too much product comes out. See what I mean? Like I barely pressed that. So I'm just going to use this to apply over here. And I'm gonna use it probably as a base for a regular concealer, just to brighten up, but I think the shade I got is off. As you can see, it definitely brightens, but it's not going to give me that coverage that I need, especially for this look. So this is what the Fenty looks like. It definitely does brighten. I feel like I should have gotten more of a peachy shade, so I probably will pick that up. I've used this a couple times, but as I said, I feel like it's better for me as a brightening base and then going in with concealer over top, or on a no makeup day, which is what it says on Sephora. So I'm actually going to layer my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric over top. I just feel like I need a little bit more coverage with what kind of look I'm doing. So this is what my under eyes are looking like. I feel like it definitely does brighten, as it said. It is a light coverage, so if you have really dark circles, it's not gonna be a one and done unless it's more of a light makeup day. But I really wanna try out a more peachy shade, so I probably will grab one. Okay, I went ahead and finished my brows, and I wanna go in now to the Juvia's Place Bronzed Duo in medium. So there was 3 different shades. There was light, medium, and deep. So inside here, you get 2 matte bronzers. One is more cool toned, and then one, well, I would say this is more cool red, and then this one is more warm. I'm gonna use this one to maybe sculpt the face out a little bit, just to sort of give me that chiseled effect. Sort of bring it up here. It's a little warm for a contour. So to actually bronze the face, I'm gonna take the A21. This is like the big powder bronzing brush. And I am gonna go into the more warmer shade up here. So you can see it picks up the product quite easily. There's very little kickback. It's a very thin formula. So it's not overly pigmented, which I like. It's pretty easy to use. Blends nicely. Buildable. Might be a great option if you like matte bronzers, maybe because you have texture. The shade is definitely warmer, but we have a really warm look on the eyes. All right, next I wanna go into this new Nars palette. This is their new Orgasm on the Beach palette, and I just received this in PR. I didn't even know this was coming out, and they dropped it on Sephora. So you have the Orgasm blush in here. These are that kind of baked gelée type of texture. And then you have this really pretty orange color, and then you have a beautiful red, and these are pigmented. I mean, really pigmented. And then on the top you have a bronze color, maybe a copper, and then a highlight. So I thought that we would just play around. I really want to go into the orange and maybe a little bit of the red just to sort of really make my look warm. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to take this A 3.2. I don't know why that one has like a 3.2 in there. I'm going to start off with the orange here, and it picks up. There's not really any kick up when you touch it. So I'm going to start applying this. Do you see that sheen? So it has a sheen, so if you don't like that, you will not like this. I'm actually going to take this around my brow area. It's really pretty. It definitely is going to highlight, you know, your textures and stuff a little bit more, so just be aware. Okay, so this is what the orange looks like. So now I want to jump into a little bit of the red, and I want to tread lightly. Ooh. Okay, that is pretty. Definitely want to use a very, very light hand with the red. It's almost like a highlight and blush in one. I'm gonna grab a little bit of this lightest shade in here just to highlight. I'm using the A22. This is a little bit large for highlighting, but I'm going to sweep this. I mean, this blush palette is glowy. You don't even really need to add a highlight. I'm also gonna take a little bit of that orange and like one dot of the red just to go over my nose. And then I'm just taking down the center of my nose that light shade. To finish off the eyes, I'm gonna jump in to, I think I'm gonna use this shade under my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take A18, which is really tiny. I'm gonna go into the deepest shade here. Just gonna put this really closely against my lash line. I've been sort of enjoying a liner in my waterline, so I'm gonna take this Gucci liner that I got in Chocolat. I've been really enjoying this formula, and I'm gonna put this in my waterline. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and line my lips now. I'm gonna use the Juvia's Place Luxe Lip Liner in the shade Brownie. It might be a little bit deep for me, but hopefully we can make it work, and I've never tried their lip liners, so. Okay, nice and creamy. So I'm gonna blend this in. So it's definitely dark for me, but again, it was the only one that was sent. And I'm gonna go in now with their, I think this is their liquid lipstick in Bronzed Toast. Bronzed Toast. It's a really small component, but it looks like a warm, kind of chocolatey brown. It has a really big doe foot applicator. Okay, very thin formula. Ooh, this is really deep. This is the lightest of the three, so. So I actually like the formula on both. I definitely don't feel like this is my typical summer look. I feel like we've gone a little bit over the top, but I'm gonna put on some Bronzed Sugar Gloss, just see how the formula is and maybe lighten this up a little bit. Oh gosh, okay, that's really pigmented, super pigmented. It's a cool tone, nude. All right, guys, here's my finished makeup look using all new products. And I have to say, I don't think I've done a dark lip in a long time. It feels a little bit weird to me, and I do feel like it's on the verge of slipping and sliding, so I want to get through this. So starting off with the Juvia's Place Bronzed Eyeshadow Palette, I think it's super cute. Everything blended beautifully, but I do feel like you're going to get the same look pretty much from using this palette. So it's just going to be a very warm orange, copper smoky eye essentially, but it did perform beautifully, so I have no complaints other than the fact that it's gonna limit your possibilities in terms of what kind of looks you can get out of it. In terms of the Lawless mascara, it's still too early to tell. I don't dislike it, but I wasn't wowed. I did feel like it gave me volume at the root. As I said, it's a wet formula, but it's thick, so it's not a thin formula that's kind of getting all over your lids. Not messy in that way, but a lot comes out on the brush, and I felt like I got a little bit of clumping, and I couldn't really separate my lashes lashes. So I'll have to keep trying it out, but I like the packaging, and I think for every day it might be good. But again, I tend to like the brushes that are a little bit more volumizing. In terms of the Lorac Dewy Canvas Prep, I feel like it's nice. I like that there's no heavy scent in there. Quite dewy though, and I am noticing that I'm getting a little bit oily around my nose and on my forehead, which in turn is making me look a little bit more textured than I would like just so far. I feel like I've only been wearing this for, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I'm already feeling like I need to powder. It could be the mixture of both of these, could be this, could be both of them, so I would probably keep this on the perimeters of my face, but I'm excited to keep using it. I'm also excited to keep playing with the Vive Skin Dew. I think it's really beautiful, and it's a really moisturizing product, but quite thin in texture. But this is probably going to be more of a base for everyday makeup or to tap on the tops of my cheekbones. I do plan on doing a more natural glowy look soon, but with the deep lips and the Juvia's Place palette and the Nars palette, I really want to focus on those. I'm also going to have to try the Givenchy foundation by itself. Of course, it's a light coverage, super dewy, and today with all the stuff I wanted to try, I just didn't feel like it meshed. So I will give this a try. It's a little bit light for me right now because I have a fresh tan on. The Fenty Beauty Under Eye Brightener, as I said, I like it. I feel like it's a nice thin texture. It definitely brightens, but it's not going to give you a lot of coverage. More of, again, a natural product or to use under concealer, so I probably will pick up a peachier shade. In terms of the Juvia's Place bronzer, I liked it. I didn't love it, but again, I'll keep trying it out. I don't know if I like the top shade. It's just a little bit yellow for me, but the formula is very thin, matte. It doesn't pick up texture, and it really blends easily. So if you're looking for a matte bronzer duo, you might like this. And I do really like the Nars Orgasm on the Beach palette. I really feel like the red makes the palette, but I will say that this is going to enhance your texture. So if you are really self-conscious or you have a lot of texture, acne, whatever it may be, just know that this is definitely going to enhance that. So it's going to give you a nice, beautiful glow, but it's also going to, you know, bring light and attention there. So if you're someone that likes matte cheeks, you will not like this, but it's not glittery or chunky. It just definitely gives you that glow, which in turn will enhance your texture. In terms of the Morphe brushes, I like them, but I'm not as blown away as I thought I would be. They are incredibly soft, but almost a little bit too soft for certain brushes. I felt like a little bit too soft for the foundation brush, a little bit too soft for the eyeshadow brushes, just really have a lot of give to them. They do feel incredibly soft, so there's no like goat hair feel. So I almost wonder if these are synthetic just because the bristles are incredibly soft and they just give both ways. But I'll have to keep trying them. I don't dislike them. I felt like everything worked beautifully, but I don't know if I was as blown away as I thought I would be. And then in terms of the lip products, I really like the lip liner from Juvia's Place. It was pigmented and creamy, but not too creamy to where it was slipping and sliding. So I probably would get a lighter shade just because this is really deep for me. I like the formula of the gloss as well. It's a little bit cool toned, but I like how pigmented it is, and it gives you that high coverage, which I actually adore because I would use a lip liner and then just use a gloss. And I actually like the formula of the liquid lipstick as well. I just feel like we have a little bit of clashing tones going on because my eyes are so warm, and then I put on this liquid lipstick that was really warm and deep, and then I put on a more cool toned gloss. But I just want to try out the formulas, and I like all three of them, so I'll keep trying them out. All right, guys, so that is everything for this trying new makeup. I feel like I have a fall makeup look on right now, and I am sweating buckets. It's so hot in here. So I am going to pull my hair back, rip my lashes off, get the fan on, put on a sports bra, and get more comfortable. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will link everything down below. Let me know what products you want me to try next. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video.